And here we are. We are live, so everyone can pile right in. Our guest tonight is Mandy Summers, creator of Wart the Wizard, creator of the Pirate Queen.
Yes.
Mandy, thank you for coming on tonight. We appreciate it.
Oh, no
I am
problem
your
at
host,
all.
RJ Carter, author of The Destroyer. Well, I was going to go out and plug Wart the Wizard, and then I saw that I'm a little behind things. Wart's in demand right now.
It is.
And the next thing to come up is, and our next thing is going to be the Pirate Queen, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. But first, Jade, thank you for asking for the wrench. But you know what? I have no idea how to do that in this. All I can do is put time out or block you. And I don't think you want either one of those.
Hi, Bianca.
So I'm going to not do those. So first of all, I want to find out how you got involved creating. It's a chicken or the egg situation. Were you wanting to create and crowdfunding came along, or were the crowdfunding crowd getting up there and you said, hey, I can do that, let's create?
It I came across crowdfunding and I wanted to be a part of the Comicscape movement. I believed in what they were preaching. And I thought, I have these stories that I've been telling my daughter, and I can make a really cool comic with that. So that's pretty much what I did. I just kind of jumped in with my Wart the Wizard comic.
All right. What was the search like to find an artist? I mean, if somebody wanted to do the same thing, they want to write a comic book, you can't just say, hey, let's you draw it, I'll write it, and we'll make the money together, because I'm finding out artists want money first.
Yes.
Is that your experience?
Well, because I did everything myself with Wart the Wizard, that is kind of what the situation was. I came in, I didn't know any artists. I didn't know anybody to talk to. So even though with my limited art skills, I figured it's a kid's book and I'm good enough to make my book. Like, I could never do like Pirate Queen. That story would not fit with my art. But Wart the Wizard was perfect. So I would tell everybody that doesn't know artists, get out there, get your idea out there, talk to artists, talk to people, because that's kind of how I ran into Clint, where he's doing the art and I'm writing for Pirate Queen. But with Wart the Wizard, I was kind of on my own for the most part. I did everything myself. So yeah, it's really just getting out there and meeting people, same with Peter Gilmore. Like, I just kind of, ran into him and we started talking and we clicked. And so now, him and I are going to be doing a comic book here pretty soon too. He's going to draw Wart the Wizard 2 for me and I'm going to write it. So yeah, it's just really getting out there and meeting people and finding an artist that gets what you're doing and wants to be a part of it. Because there are some that will do that. Okay.
All right. And first of all, I want to know more about this Wart the Wizard character. So you just ready for this. Okay.
Oh, I love it.
Now, make the magic happen. What do I want to know about Wart if I wanted to go in there and grab that on demand?
Okay, so Wart the Wizard is a all ages book. It was written by me, drawn by me, lettered, colored, all that good stuff. It is the story about a level 1 wizard. It has a lot of D&D and gaming references, but it's a story about a level 1 wizard with no spells that goes to basically pay his rent. And he's all excited, his first quest, go pay his rent. And he ends up just way over his head, facing the most, vicious wizard in the whole realm of Brightmoor, who is Grey Moss. So yeah, he gets in way over his head. Because he has no spells, he has to use his wits by finding items and then trying to figure out how to use them to accomplish what he's trying to do. So it's got a little bit of the King's Quest, Leisure Suit Larry feel with a lot of D&D references as well, because I love video games. I love D&D. So when I was telling these stories to my daughter over the years, at one time I may have been playing D&D. So a lot of stuff that I was telling her has D&D references. And also, you know, when I was playing World of Warcraft or EverQuest or one of those, I would use references from there. So I just compiled everything I love into one book. But yeah, Wart is, he doesn't really care about, you know, accomplishing anything really other than getting a beard, because in Brightmoor, you don't grow beards. You have to earn them. And every great wizard has an amazing beard, right? So his whole goal really is to get a beard so he can stop being heckled by people, because he's a wizard with no spells and no beard. So it's cutesy. It's funny, and kids are going to love it, and adults are going to love all the references, because they're going to see stuff in it and be like, oh shit, when they see stuff like, you know, like a guild, an overzealous guild that's trying to get them to join. And that's the kind of stuff Wart is going to run into. And of course, because it's a fantasy world, there's ogres, there's just all kinds of silliness. You know, Grey Moss, the bad wizard, is you know, very high level, and you know, he died years ago. He was, you know, killed, but in Brightmoor you don't die. You always come back as either a skeleton or a zombie. So he came back as a skeleton, but of course he's a skeleton, so he lost his beard. So when he came back to life, he grabbed moss off of a grave, his grave, and now he wears a beard made of moss because he's embarrassed because he has no beard. So yeah, beards are a huge thing in Brightmoor. Everybody wants a beard. So yeah.
All right. Well, I'll have one by Saturday, and I'll shave it off. I believe about 99% of what you just said there. I think you're fabricating just a teeny bit, because you, young lady, are way. You have no reference to Leisure Suit Larry.
No, I most certainly do. I used to play on my dad's IBM. Loved it. I loved the third one, Passionate Patty. That was the one I was the most fluent in. I played the first one and the second one, but the third one was the one that was my absolute favorite. So I've been playing games since I was 4. I used to have, my dad had me a little cheat sheet, because, you know, back with DOS, you had to do to make a display, you had to do it was a floppy drive, but to make it play, you would have to do like the / semicolon play C draw, and I couldn't ever remember it because I was just too little. So yeah, I had everything wrote down, and to get the naughty version of Leisure Suit Larry, I would have to ask my dad the questions that they ask you, so I could get the full nudity, if that's what you want to call it back then, the pixelated boobies and stuff. So yeah, I've been playing video games since I was like 4. So that, and let's see, I
had Leisure Suit.
Did you? Which one was your favorite?
I had Leisure Suit Larry, The Land of the Lounge Wizards, and I also had Spellcasting 101, Sorcerers Get All the Girls.
Oh my God, I never got to play that one, but it sounds awesome. That one was not one.
It was fun. It was.
That sounds right up my alley of stuff I would have liked. A lot of mine also comes from, I don't know if you ever played King's Quest. That a lot of my references come from that game as well, because that one was absolutely, I think it was 5, but that one was my favorite. So I played a lot of those old IBM games, like a lot of those.
All right. Well, were you surprised at all by the success that you had with Wart the Wizard? I mean, just going in there cold and entering this crowdfunding arena and suddenly just being swept up and bandied about?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The whole thing, it's still like mind blowing to me that it has done so well. You know, when I first launched, I would have, when I think I set my goal at $1,000, and if I had if it had stopped at 1,000, I would have been like over the moon excited, because again, I know that I'm not John Malin. I know that I'm not Ethan. So I was coming into it with limited art skills. So the fact that everybody gets what I'm trying to do, just it blows my mind, the support that I've gotten. It's incredible. It absolutely is.
Well, you've obviously attained quite a following. We're actually viewers tonight than I've had all week long, at one time anyway. We're working on that. Side note, if all you viewers are looking to hit that super chat button, sorry to disappoint you. We don't have one. We don't do that. I'm saying that like that was a conscious decision on our part. YouTube simply won't give us one. And this guy would be here to grab your. So,
right.
So we don't do that. You can help the channel, however. Yeah, exactly. If you do want to help the channel, we got links down below, like to our t-shirt shop where you can get excellent fashion agenda like this.
I love
Everybody
it.
wants one of these. But more importantly, we want you to throw your money at Wart the Wizard and coming up at the Pirate Queen. And that's what we're going to talk about a little bit next here.
Awesome.
So you finished Wart the Wizard, and you've got to do something now. We got to keep this train rolling. We got the momentum.
Yes, right.
So where did Pirate Queen come from?
Well, Clint came to me with the idea about me writing. He showed me some of the sample art that he had and told me his idea for, what he was thinking about doing, and asked if I was, if I wanted to write it. And I started looking at the art, and I absolutely fell in love with his art style because it reminds me of J. Scott Campbell. So I looked at it and I was like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Heck yeah, I'm on board. Sign me up. So yeah, we've been collaborating together now for about a month. I've been sending him, little pieces of script, and pretty much I set up everything that I do. And I'm like, what do you think? What do you think? Because he's incredible. He's worked with Marvel. He's huge. So I was like, everything I do, because I'm just a stay-at-home mom from Georgia. So I'm like a little nervous working with the big guys. So yeah, we've been working on it. It's going to launch at the end of March. So yeah, right about the time I get Wart out, we'll be starting a whole new campaign with Pirate Queen. And it is awesome. It is going to be just so cool. It's got a lot of Star Trek and Star Wars references. It's very funny. We're doing it a very funny style. It's like, let me think of how to describe Pirate Queen. Ava is a lot like Han Solo with boobs. So, she's so yeah. Right. So yeah, we use a lot of they go to the cantina, stuff like that. No, the monsters are very space-like. It's a very different, but this is something that if I could have chose a comic book with an artist to write, this would have without a doubt been it. This is right up my alley of stuff that I love. And yeah, you guys are going to absolutely love this book. I promise. It is amazing. And yeah, his art is just phenomenal.
Now, of course, there is sample art on the Indiegogo placeholder page right now.
There is.
That boobs, and there are people who like that kind of thing. Is this going to be an all ages book, or are we broadcasting here that maybe not, maybe?
No. This one is absolutely the opposite of Wart the Wizard. This one is probably, I would have to talk to him about the rating, but just from what I've seen and what I've written, I would say teen. And that it's okay. Yeah, it's got some boobies. It's got, we like boobs, so we put boobs in there. So yeah, there are definitely boobs in this book. There's cussing. It is a teen and up, definitely. So yeah, no. Wart the Wizard will stay for the little ones and adults as well. But with this one, yeah, I'm doing grown up books now.
All right. Well, what is your approach to writing these stories? I mean, do you follow some sort of script format, or do you panel it all out, or you just kind of say, hey, I need this to happen and this to happen. You're the artist. You tell me how to do that.
Pretty much with Wart the Wizard, it was pretty much me storyboarding everything out, going through my notebooks and figuring out what I wanted to do, which pieces I wanted to use. And I honestly would draw little skits kind of going through, like, okay, this is something like this. With this one, I pretty much storyboarded it for the most part. And and then Clint sends me the art back. I send them, so this happens here, and this, and this, and here's what they're going to say. And I send it to him because I've never worked with a professional. I asked him if that works. He said, yeah, no, I get what you're doing. I can follow this. It's perfect. So I'm not having to worry so much about keeping it. He works with the fact that I'm not 100% professional with it. So he totally gets me. So we're able to just kind of work off of each other. And, so far, though, he's never sent anything back. He says, I love it. I love it. Good job. So that's pretty much how I've been doing it. I just been writing down. Yeah, I write down what I think would be awesome and send it over his way. And he says, oh, yeah, I can work with that. So, yeah, I have not wrote out the actual script yet, like word for word what it's going to say. It's pretty much a broad, so this happens here, and then this, and then this. And so he's pretty much drawing it out. And then I guess when that's all done, we'll go back and then I'll write the actual script, what they're going to say and stuff. But so far, he's been really, really cool and lenient with the way I work, because I've never actually worked with anybody before. It's all been me. So it's pretty awesome.
That really is the most important part of getting even War and Peace, something like that, written, is to have that first guide that says this happens and then this happens and then this happens.
Yes.
Even if every sentence is and then this happens, because it takes you from beginning to end, and you don't start writing and you're like, holy crap, this I painted myself into because it was a really cool problem, except I'm not smart enough to get out of it now.
Right.
So when you have something like that, you really have a guide.
Yes. It seems to be working.
I've done that.
Yeah, it works well. And like I said, I don't know how the professionals do it, but Clint, like I said, he is just absolutely amazing. He is working with the fact, he totally gets me. So he's totally cool with my amateurish way that I do things. And he just, I'll tell him, when this happens and this happens. And then he sends me, his art for it. And he's like, so can you work with this? And I'm like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Yeah, I can work with this. Like, what? It's amazing. So yeah, it's coming along just amazingly. I'm so excited. And, as soon as this one ends, me and Pete are going to jump right into Wart the Wizard 2. He's doing his book right now. I'm doing editing on it, but, he's doing Rocket Gal with Wyatt Holiday. So they're doing their book. I'm doing mine with Clint. And then, after that's done, me and Pete are going to actually do a book together. And Pete's the same way. He gets the way I do things. So he's totally cool with the way, maybe I'm doing it the way the professionals do and just don't know it. But everybody seems to be just kind of working with the way I do stuff. So it works out.
Make it until you make it, is the old saying. And with everybody working together the way you are, you almost have this miniature publication house where it's all a team. We're all doing our own books, but we're working together on stuff. You're editing one person's book. They're drawing your book. You might as well just come up with a banner and put it over the top and be done with it.
Yes. Pete and Wyatt and I, we are like the three amigos. That is my support system in all of this. Both of those guys, when I'm having a bad day, or, like with Pete, I'll say, I can't get this face right. I can't do this right. And he'll say, well, send it to me and I'll show you what to do. And then he'll show me like what I need to do to fix it so I can go back. And then, because, he's an amazing artist as well. So he gives me pointers. So when I get stuck, Wyatt, when I get stuck in like a little bit of writer's block, Wyatt will help me with that a little bit. Be like, no, you got this. Chill, you got it. So no, they are absolutely amazing. We've all done Comics Avalon together, where we're getting a bunch of creators on there selling their merchandise. And that was a really fun experience as well, working with these guys, getting everything set up. And, like Pete would draw me the picture for my coffee cup and he'd be like, so what do you think? And I'm like, are you kidding me? It's freaking amazing. Oh my gosh. And, so no, it's been really, really fun. And I love that I met these two guys because they really are, we're the three amigos. We're getting shit done.
Awesome. So what's the vision for the finished product of Pirate Queen? As far as, page count, binding type, what's the product that you imagine coming out here? A complete story, obviously, I hope.
Oh, yes. Each story is going to be, self-contained. I think right now we are looking anywhere from 24 to 48 pages, depending on, time and everything, because I'm in the middle of fulfilling as well. I'm going to start, here soon, I'm going to start fulfilling while also writing, Pirate Queen. So, but right now we are set at either 24 or 48 pages, just depending. So we're kind of playing it by ear, let it get a little bit closer to time before we just straight up say how many pages. So, but yeah, it will be a self-contained story. It's going to be awesome.
All right. With Wart the Wizard, did it take longer than you expected to make it all happen? I mean, that's one of the things that everybody hears about Comicsgate is, oh my God, they're late. They never ship. Nothing comes out. And then everything, of course, comes out. But
yes,
it's first run for everybody. They're all kind of figuring out as they go along.
Yeah, me coming into this, if you look at my YouTube channel, when I first arrived on the scene, I did not realize the importance of YouTube. So I did not do a lot. I was more focusing on doing my book, because as soon as I got funded, I was like, oh crap, this is happening. I got to get this book done. So so I was unaware of just how, I love doing the YouTube stuff. I ended up loving it. In the beginning, I had a lot of camera fright. So I didn't really like being in front of the camera. I've gotten used to it now and I absolutely love it. But yeah, between, making sure that you're on Twitter and you're getting everything out on Twitter and, going and doing YouTube and helping promote, you don't realize just how time consuming everything can be. And like, for me, not being a professional, I might have gotten stuck on one panel that took me, a full day just to get one panel because I couldn't get the damn faces right or their spines looked like they were broke and I had to keep redoing it. And then, and the original, I was doing everything by hand, everything. And then Pete was like, why are you doing it that way? Go digital. It's so much faster. It's so much easier. And I was like, no, I'm not going to go digital. It's going to be weird. I want to feel the paper that I'm drawing on. I don't know I want to feel my pen in my hand. But I broke down and I did it. And he was absolutely right. Digital is amazing. So then I had to start over and I was almost done. Like I was on page about 75 with everything hand drawn, colors, everything. I was on page 75 and then I all the way back to the beginning because my art was getting, as I was drawing every day, my art was getting better and better and better. So now when you look back at the first pages I did, I was going to have to redo all of those anyways, because the art was just so not what it was by page 70. It just completely changed. So yeah, I started over like mid-campaign from the beginning on a 90-page book. So yeah, little things pop up that you don't expect. Like I ordered my first set of cards. I have trading cards with my campaign, and I ordered the first ones, and I thought, okay, these are going to be great. I got them in, and they cut them wrong, so the lines were all like messed up. So I was like, well, damn. So then I had to order new ones to come in, which of course was early enough in, but it's still little things like that. Just you don't expect. And then when it happens, you're like, well, crap, here we go. So yeah, it is hard to put a time frame unless you start off with it done, everything done in the beginning. I don't even doesn't even bother me anymore when people say they're going to be late. I totally get it. As soon as you do a campaign, you realize that that is a estimate. It is not a guaranteed set in stone. And I would rather people take their time and do make their product exactly what they want instead of rushing, feeling like they have to stick by this deadline that sometimes is really, really hard to do. It's very hard to stick with deadline. Even like John Malin had a deadline, and he had his books ordered, and then the Chinese holidays hit, so they stopped production for like almost a month. And so just little things that you don't expect. Like nobody thought that they would quit printing for a whole month because of Chinese New Year, but they did. So it really doesn't matter who you are. Little things are going to pop up. It happens.
Something learned every time. So do you anticipate a much more smoother process with Pirate Queen now that you've gone through all the bumps with Wart the Wizard?
I do. And the fact that I'm not the artist on that one. Writing is the easy part. Drawing is the hard part. So, and like I said, Clint is a professional. He can get it done like, boom, there you go. Like I can send him a part of the script and he has the pages back to me 48 hours. He's done. Here you go. What do you think? And it's his art and it's incredible. So yeah, no, I expect every campaign will probably get easier. Will get better. I'll get more comfortable. I'll know not to buy cards from these people because they suck at cutting them, and to go, you learn the good, who to print through. Luckily, Vinny Tardamella was generous enough to show me where he prints. It's local. Well, not local, but it's, United States. So, and his books are absolutely stunningly beautiful. So yeah, you just have to learn. It's just all trial and error. And, I'm hoping by the next campaign, at least my cards won't be messed up. I know not to order from them anymore. And I know the people to order to get really good cards now. So yeah, it's just all trial and error.
So are those the tiers that you're going to be putting on Pirate Queen again? More card sets, pinups, something like that? It seems like it screams for pinups.
Yes. I know we are doing pinups. I have not actually talked to Clint about doing the cards yet. I'm sure he's going to want to. I'm sure he's going to want to go completely all out with it. So, but I'm not 100% yet exactly what we're going to do. I do know that pinups are happening because I've seen them. I know what he's already started working on. So I know those are going to be involved. But yeah, I don't know. I know that, I was talking to, I don't know if you know her, but Cara Nicole, the girl that was just on my stream the other night. She's a cosplayer and she's got her book, and she had some really, really cool stretch goals on hers. She had, lanyard set. She had pop sockets. She had mouse pads that the wrist part, the wrist was her boobs. And that was freaking awesome. Okay. So yeah, I think we're going to do some really, really fun stretch goals with this. But yeah, we haven't actually got into the nitty gritty of those yet. I'm sure here soon it's about time for us to start. But so far we've kind of, we're just working on script, working on how we work together, that type of thing, getting the art down. So, but yeah, I think we're going to have some really, really fun stuff.
Excellent. Well, one thing you're going to have to do, you're going to have to stop saying that you're not a professional now, because you've made a comic book and you've made money off of it. So you are now a professional comic book publisher.
That is true. It was the coolest thing. This year when I went and, I got my registration paper for my little ones for school next year. And when it said occupation this year, I didn't put housewife or stay-at-home mom. I actually put comic book creator. So that was really, really cool to be able to put that down. And now, like, when Wart the Wizard comes out, I'm going to have some extras printed. And, when my daughter and my son have career day again, I'm going to go and talk to their classes about crowdfunding comic books. And I'm going to take a copy of Wart the Wizard and give it to all the kids in their class. So That is going to be an absolute blast to be able to talk to the kids about making comic books and getting them excited about, because that's my whole thing. I want kids to be excited about comic books again.
I would love for that. That just makes me so happy that you're doing that.
Yes, it's gonna be a blast. So yeah, I'm gonna take, I'm gonna take every kid a copy. So I've had about plan to have about 300 extra printed up just to go to the school and talk to kids about getting excited about comic books and reading, because that is such a huge thing, is literacy with children. That is a big that's just so important that kids learn to read and enjoy it. Enjoy reading. So, because like with my kids, I never care what they read as long as they are reading and they enjoy what they read. Now, if I can make them enjoy comic books, even better, right? Instead of anime, which is what my little girl is massively into.
Oh my gosh. Now, this old 52-year-old guy got a 12-year-old boy running. He's mine. He's just one off the street. And I couldn't get him to like superheroes for nothing. But he's got a whole rack, a wire rack that we bought from a closed Toys R Us book rack, filled with Archie digests and oversized Archies. He just loves the Archie stuff and the nonfiction stuff. He's reading back manuals for loud instead of, typical middle grade school book stuff. He wants to know real things. He doesn't want to know fake things, he says. But the fact that, you're going to be out there inspiring more kids to create, it's like when I had Sean on for Pillowman and Blanket Boy, the fact that his 11-year-old son was the creator behind that. That was so cool. We're going to see some kids, I think, come up real soon here and take advantage of this crowdfunding thing and make some comics.
Yes, and that will be like a dream come true for me. Like, seriously, that will be like, oh my gosh, how cool is that? So yeah, that's I'm hoping that some of these kids at my kids' school show Wart the Wizard to other kids and get them excited about making comics. And because there are with you having a son, I'm sure you're aware there are so many talented children that could probably, like, even in my daughter's fourth grade class, there are kids right now that could make a comic book that could come out with the one tomorrow and it be amazing. So yeah, I just want to get kids excited about reading, and if they're reading comics, even better, because I love comics and I want comics to stick around. And with what the big two are doing, we're not going to get kids excited about comics the way they're doing it. It's just not going to happen. It is going to take us.
We can't even get adults excited about it.
Right. And we love comics, and I'm not excited about anything they come out with. So yeah, exactly. This is how we are going to get the next generation excited about comics, with what we are doing. Kids right now, they are into YouTube. They are into, all of that stuff. So yeah, it fits hand in hand that, when my little ones get a little bit older, get about 16, 17, I hope my daughter is out here crowdfunding her books. So yeah, that is my goal, is to get as many kids excited about comics as humanly possible. Well,
speaking of kids reading, excellent little segue here. I'm going to shill for a second, because we are a publishing house as well.
Cool.
As our first hard superhero novel from Stephen J. Mitchell. This is Bulletproof Origins, book number 1. Bulletproof Origins is about a 16-year-old boy who wakes up one day. He is absolutely to any damaging. Unfortunately, he has all the attention of a ferret on pixie sticks, and it gets him into trouble. So he's unfortunately also beset by a crowd of terrorists who are after the secret that has made him bulletproof, and he is. So it's a errors and a superhero adventure. Link, get it off Amazon. Description. Mandy, you did mention you're in Georgia. I have to ask, are you going to be setting up at Dragon?
I actually, yes. Mr. Billy Tucci has asked me to sit on the panel with him for Crowdfunding Comics. So I'm going to be there with Billy, Niall, and Frank from Crowdfunding Comics. I'll be sitting at their table, hanging out with them. So absolutely. And that is like the highlight of my year, because in what world does a housewife from Georgia get to go hang out with Billy Tucci? I mean, like, what? I used to see his comic book sheet up on the wall at my local comic book store, and it was way out of my price range. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. I wish I could buy that book. And now I'm like talking to him, and we get to go hang out. And it's so, yeah, I will be hanging out with the Crowdfunding Comics at Dragon Con, and I'm so excited.
I hope everybody's working together so well here. I hope that at least sometime in the next 2 to 3 years, there's just a jam comic. It's just a great big messed up world merging adventure that everybody's character is in, doing something where Wart's casting spells and that umbrella guy is sitting there going into the dark, cyber frogs leaping over everything. Just do it, guys. Get together and do it.
Right? Would that not be the
Mandy,
most amazing thing? That would be amazing.
I would. Everybody would buy it.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Maybe that's what we could do. You know, Ethan's been talking about doing some crowdfunding for the CG convention next year in Florida that he's planning on doing. And he was talking about crowdfunding. Maybe that would be a good way to crowdfund for this convention that we're having. Get everybody in together. And yeah, that would be freaking awesome. I would love that.
Fantastic. Mandy, thank you so much for coming by.
No
you
problem.
Came and you gave without taking. And now I send you away. You're going to send me a cease and desist letter. You're heading over to the Crowdfunding Comics channel right now. So everybody, please just switch stations. Head over to Billy Tucci's Crowdfunding Comics. Get some more of this Southern drawl goods. And again, we can't thank you enough. We hope to talk with you again shortly after the Pirate Queen has set sail.
Yes, absolutely. It'll be a blast.
Right. Thank you, Mandy. We're signing out.
No problem.